So as he described the engines program to me, Daniel, here was my first thought. I was like, "Nah, that's a great idea."
This was the Super Bowl of like what I had wanted to do my entire career. And like would do it again in a heartbeat.
Yeah, we need to like keep our eye on this. Not only is it like important, it's like actually bipartisan.
It was startup energy. So you were doing a lot of different things.
My like entire career is about, like the belief that more regional economies can be globally competitive. And like prior to these programs were like dial in for dollars for $250,000 grants. The average EDA grant since the 1970s was between 1 and 2 million. And like, this was $1 billion program. I mean, it was like a no brainer.
I grew up in a small rural area in Mississippi, and I was good at math and science, but I was in a small rural area. And so I remember having all these ideas about, oh, well, I wonder, can I use a computer to do this? But there was no kind of innovation system. There was no, at least as far as my area, there was no kind of innovation system. There was just these ideas. When younger Dimitri had these ideas, the engines program should be right there to kind of facilitate that process in regions that don't have already thriving innovation systems.
Of course there was tons of applications, right? It was $1 billion competition that had, an upper bound of $100 million. What I was surprised with, and like, this is something that has fundamentally changed my view in the country, is like the quality of applications that came in from places that I didn't know anything about.
One of the things I would always say is that I left DC more optimistic, I think, about the state of government, like with our engines program, maybe targeting areas that maybe have not seen the full effects of like the tech boom and everything that have sort of been neglected for a bit. So it's really cool, I think, to be able to share like a relatively positive and optimistic view of like government.